Whoever watches this video to the end will get a special prize of 1,000 John points. So let's get right in. Today we're going to do an SAT critical concept. This will apply for the SAT and the PSAT. This is slope intercept form. So it sounds hard and it's going to seem hard, but we're going to break it down for you. So we've got y equals mx plus b. So all this mx is your slope, which I'll explain in more detail. And then your b is your y intercept. So first let's explain the y-intercept. So let's say we have a graph, right? And here we have our 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3, -1, -2, -3. So our y-intercept is when x equals 0. So when x is right here, how tall is y? So let's say it's going to be at a 2. So that would mean that our y-intercept is y-intercept of 2. Now if it's down here, -2, our y-int would be 0. But if it's here, which is neutral at the origin, our y-int would be 0. And wait, this one was -2, yeah. So that's y-intercept. Now slope is rise over run. And I'll explain that in more detail, but for right now, just remember that. So here's an example equation. We've got y equals 3x plus 7. So if I were to ask you, what is the slope? What is slope? The slope of this line would be 3x. But it won't be an x because it's mx and your slope is actually m. So it would be 3. Now the thing you've got to keep in mind is this is a linear equation. Like lots of you 8th graders know what a linear equation is, but you've never actually put it into practice. So what we're going to do if this is an equation is we're going to write a line with it. See what I mean? Now what is our y-intercept? Well, it's 7. So you get 3 and the 7. So now let's try to graph an equation. And I'll explain rise over run. So we've got y equals 2x minus 3. So let's draw our graph. Let's zoom in. Let's add it. Here we've got a 0, 1, 2, 3. -1, -2, -3. We'll make it a bit longer. -4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So now we've got 2x minus 3. So the first thing we want to do is we want to plot our starting point. So our starting point will be our y-int. So it's -3, so we'll just shade in -3. Now we've got 2x. So slope is rise over run. So we've got 2 over 1, right? Because 2 is technically 2 over 1. So rise. So rise is 2. So you can go up 2. I said go up 2. So I said go up 2, so we'd be here, right? And then we go to the right one because we want to do this positive since it's a positive. So we go to the right one since we can't go to the left or down because those are negatives. So now we've got our 2 points. Now we'll just put a line in between them. And you've successfully done slope and y-intercept. Now let's give you another example because this is hard. I repeat. This is very hard. Unlike you, Samson. Get out of here. Yeah, see? So now we're gonna do y equals, let's just say x plus 4. So what would be our starting point? Well, we'll start at 4. Then we've got x. So we've got to remember this is actually 1x. So it would be 1 over 1. So, well, we've got a 5, but let's pretend that for some reason we don't have a 5 here. So what would we do? We can't go up anymore. We're not allowed to. Oh man, we're gonna fail this test. Don't worry. Don't worry. What you've got to do is, well, we know that we could do a positive and a positive times a positive to get a positive. But we could also do -1 times -1. So what do we know are negatives? We know if we go down 1, we're going down, so that's negative. And we know if we go to the left, we go into the negative zone. So we'd go down 1, then we'll go to the left 1. So our second point would be over here. Now we've successfully graphed a line. But now I'm gonna make it hard. Woo! This is all SAT. I might even explain linear functions, but we're not there yet. So we've got a line. Yeah, that's our line. We're erasing it. So I don't want this video to be too long, but hey, the more you learn. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -1, -2, -3, -4, -1, -2, -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, -4. So now, this is what we're gonna do. They're gonna give you 2 arbitrary points. Arbitrary is random. And now, they're gonna make you write this equation. So before, we had the equation like y equals, let's just say 9x plus 8. Well, now you're gonna have to write this, and then you would turn it into a graph. But now you have the graph, and you have to turn this into an equation. Don't be intimidated. The first thing we do is we put our y, then we put our equals. So what do we know immediately from looking at this? Well, we know that our y-intercept is at 3 since x is 0, so we can immediately at the end put plus 3. So what is our slope? Well, let's think about this. We went up 2 and to the right 1. So this is rise over run. How many spaces did we go up? We went up 2 spaces, so our rise is 2. And then we ran 1 space to the left. So you can tell that our rise over 1 is 2 over 1. So how we'd write that is we put y equals, well, we put 2 over 1, which is 2. Then we add our x plus 3. Now let's try to do it. So we add 3, so we go here. Then we go up 2 and to the right 1. And as you can tell, it checks in. So those are y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form. So remember, if you watch this video to the end and you say the code, if you tell me this code tomorrow, plus I'll make you do a practice problem, I will give you 1,000 John points. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell for more notifications.